What's up guys? So if you're looking to create some board and batten designs like these, similar like what we did recently with our half bath, this video should be a good guide for that and grid pattern. So if we want to be able to find any spacing between any number of boards that you want, we're going to start with the total wall width. So measure out your total wall width and you'll get X amount of inches there. And then what you're going to want to do is place 2 of whatever size battens you're going to use on the corners of the wall or wherever you want the design to end. And then once you have those, pick a number of boards, and if you multiply the single width of a board times the number of boards that you want, that will give you the total width that the boards are going to take up on the wall. So let's pretend like we put our boards on the wall. So take that total wall width minus the sum of all those boards that you put on the wall, and that's going to give you all the empty spacing between each of your boards. But this next part, if we have 4 spaces between them, we'll take all that empty space and divide by that number of spaces. And that's going to equal your spacing between the boards. Now let's say we wanted to do a grid pattern. These look really intricate, but they're really not too bad. We recently did one ourselves in our master bedroom. And it was actually really easy. All you're going to do is the exact same thing as you did before, but this time we're running up and down the wall instead of across the wall. So again, same thing here. You'll take the single board height or whatever width your boards are. So that could be 2 inches, 3 inches, whatever it is, and then you're going to multiply it by the number of boards you want on the wall, and that's going to equal the total height of all those boards if you added it all up. Now you'll take the total wall width minus that total board width that we just got, and that's going to equal again all your empty spacing. And now again we have 4 spaces, so you're going to take all that empty space, divide it by the number of spaces, and that's going to give you that individual spacing between each batten. Let's take a look at this example where we have a 12-foot tall ceiling with a 16-foot long wall. Okay, so we worked out the horizontal part here. So the total wall width of 16 foot is equal to 192 inches. We've got our battens, let's say they are 3 inches wide, and then we chose 5 boards that we wanted. So 3 times 5 is the 15 inches. We subtract that from the total wall width of 192 to get 177. And then between 5 boards, you're gonna have 4 spaces. So we'll divide this 177 by 4, and that gives us our 44 1/4 inches, and that would be the space you would want to leave between each batten if you put them on the wall. Now for the vertical part, same exact thing. We just did it with the 12-foot height and used all the same stuff, and let's say we wanted to use 5 boards. Well, we came down here and now we have 32 1/4, which if you want a perfect square, that's about 10 inches off from the 44 inches. So how do we figure out what we need to do here? I'm trying to get to this 44 1/4, and when we tried 5 boards, it came out to 32 1/4. So we lowered the number of boards to 4 boards, and now it came out to 44, which is really close. That's only 1/4 inch off from our actual width that we want. So if you wanted to keep playing around with this, you could actually change the number of boards on the horizontal, but in order to make sure that they're perfect squares, this is one way you could do it. Or if you found it easier, you could just start from the top and do 44 1/4, same spacing all the way down. However, you're probably going to end up with something down at the bottom where you have a smaller section of board. But if you're okay with that, the rest of it would be perfect squares. You're just going to run into some issues either at the top or bottom. But this would be one way you could do it. And in this example, I will say 44 1/4 inches is really far spacing between them. Most of what we've used and a lot of ours has been close to probably 1 foot, which is 12 inches, or closer to like 2 feet for our grid pattern. So again, you'd want this number. You could just keep playing around with the number of boards until you got this number where you wanted it, and then adjust the number of vertical boards until it equals about the same. I hope this helped anybody trying to do this same design. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.